It's 6 o'clock, 6 p.m., October 12th, 2020. And I call this audio video written school board meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance, Dr. Salazar, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honoring the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. Roll call, Mr. Levine.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Mr. Leonel Garza. Mrs. Sandra Garcia is not with us today. I am here, Mr. Ruben Trevino, Mr. Martin Castillo, Mr. Ray Farias, Mr. Jesus Amaya, Ms. Leticia Quintero,
Present.
Dr. Gonzalo Salazar, present. Ms. Priscilla de la Garza.
Present.
Item 5 and item 6, if nobody signed up for either one of those public audience or public comments, so we'll move on to item 7, district report. Dr. Salazar.
Mr. Garza, members of the board, we present to you our district reports for this month. This time we'll entertain any questions you may have in reports A through E. If there are no questions on our financial reports, I'm going to ask Mrs. Ada Amaro Silaja, Executive Director for Support Services, to give us a brief description of the revisions to the district improvement plan for the 2021 school year. Mrs. Amaro.
Thank you, Dr. Salazar. Mr. Rice and members of the board. This year, we took a different approach in developing our district improvement plan. So different that we started from scratch. It was all cleared out, and we were very intentional in our performance objectives and our strategies. So taking the 11th goal, district goals that you were adopted, all of our departments came together, looked at our goal, and looked at the departments and conducted an intensive needs assessment, looking at the needs of the department and prioritizing them. From those needs and prioritizing, we developed some problem statements and the root cause of that problem. So that's where then we went and became very intentional in developing performance objectives and strategies. So our prior district improvement plan had some areas included in the performance plan. There were administrative procedures, or there was procedures that did not need to be included in the district improvement plan. Our district improvement plan is targeting areas that we want to work on in each department so that we can be evaluating, and as we're working through the year, and ensuring that those targeted areas and strategies that we said we were going to do this year, that we're going to be monitoring and conducting throughout the year. So it went from about 150, 160 pages to 73. So when we did take out, and then we figured that if it's in administrative procedure, it goes in the department handbook, or it goes into an administrative guidelines, but it's removed from the district improvement plan. So we're happy to see that everything that is in our district improvement plan was very carefully planned. You will see that any objective or any strategy is linked to a problem, the problem that the department wanted to work on. So if there's any question, I can entertain any questions.
Questions from anybody, board members? Mr. Amaya.
Mr. Chairman, not a question, more of a statement. These, and I think that you all know this, I know they know it. This is unheard of for you to throw out a district improvement plan and start from scratch. Because even improving the district improvement plan is such a large undertaking. And for you all to do this, this is amazing. It shows your commitment and your passion. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm happy to take parts of this back to where I work. So again, it's just your commitment and your passion.
Thank you, Mr. Maya. I recently described Mrs. Amado as the curator of our district improvement plan, and she and several members of our staff have worked very closely together to pull this off.
It's a team effort.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. We're gonna move on to item 3 under the district report, board member training requirements report. I am obligated to have to read this before, well, let me just go ahead and read it. I have to read it. Policy BBD legal states, annually at the last regular meeting of the board before an election, the president shall announce and the minutes must reflect the name of each board member who has completed the required hours of training and who is deficient in the required training as of the date of the meeting. The president shall cause the minutes to reflect the information and shall make the information available to the local media. Education Code 11.159, 19 TAC 61.1J. To this end, I am pleased to report the following. Mr. Leonel Garza met the required training hours. Ms. Sandra Garcia has until January 31st, 2021 to complete her training. Mr. Ruben Trevino met the required training hours. Mr. Martin Castillo has until January 31st, 2021 to complete his training. Mr. Ray Farias met the required training hours. Mr. Jesus Amaya met the required training hours. Ms. Leticia Quintero has until January 31st, 2021 to complete her training. Questions? Dr. Salazar.
We can add to that after having completed the required reporting that because of COVID-19, several conferences and COVID-19 limited the number of large gatherings that we could have. So the Commissioner of Education, understanding that travel was restricted and conventions were postponed, he has extended the window for board training until August 31st. I'm sorry, did it again. January 31st, 2021. And that's the reason for that we still have time. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move on to consent agenda. We have 11 items under consent agenda. It follows the same procedure. At this time, if anybody wants to pull an item, please do so at this time. If not, I will entertain a motion to consider consent agenda items 1 through 11 as presented. Is there a motion? Mr. Farias.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as written.
I have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Mr. Amaya, motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes 6-0. Moving to item 9, action items. Number 1. Discuss and take action to approve substantial completion of the Los Fresnos CISD 45-degree parking on Canal Street at Lopez Riggins Elementary School, CFP number 1920-35. Got it right. Okay. Is there a motion? Mr. Trevino. Okay. Do you need clarification before we do the motion?
Yes.
Go ahead. Mr. Perez, sir, if you need some clarification.
I just wondered what a, yeah. See if the 45, you could, at 45 degrees,
You see the angle of the parking spaces. Our staff used to park on the road and the city gave us the city provided and gave us authorization to build on the easement, to build a parking lot on the easement there. So in the grassy area, we removed the fence and put in parking at 45-degree angles. So that staff that comes to training doesn't create a bottleneck at dismissal time when cars are parked for the staff attending the training and parents line up for dismissal to pick up their children. So,
Okay, Mr. Revy, motion.
Yes, Mr. President, I move the board approve substantial completion of the Los Fresnos CISD 45-degree parking on Canal Street at Lopez Riggins Elementary School, CSP number 19-20-35.
We have a motion, is there a second? Ms. Quintero. We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Well, I'll bring up the discussion now that I think about it. Those parking lots are another 45 degrees. But we'll take it anyway, all right? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes 6-0. This, number 2, discuss and take action to award contract for the Los Fresnos CISD High School re-roofing project CSD number 20-21-32. Is there a motion? Ms. Quintero.
I motion to discuss and take action to award contract for Los Fresnos CISD High School re-roofing project CSP number 20-21-32.
Well, we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Mr. Farias, motion and a second. Discussion. Having no discussion, we have a motion and a second to approve the re-roofing at the high school. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes 6-0. Item 3. Discuss and take action to approve memorandum of understanding MOU between Los Fresnos Consolidated Independent School District and Texas A&M Engineering Experiment. Is a member of the Texas A&M University system has pilot program, HAS pilot program for the 2020-2023 school years. There a motion? Mr. Perry.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move the board approve memorandum of understanding MOU between Los Fresnos Consolidated Independent School District and Texas A&M Engineering Experiment Station, TEES, a member of the Texas A&M University System, HAS, pilot program for the 2020-2023 school year.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Ms. Quintero. We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Having no discussion, we have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the memorandum of understanding. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes 6-0. Number 4, discuss and take action to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendations for the following positions for the 2020-2021 school year. A, teachers. B, registered nurse. Motion, Mr. Castillo.
Yeah, Mr. President, I make a motion to approve superintendent's personnel recommendations for the following positions for the 2020-2021 school year. A, teachers. B, registered nurse.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Ms. Quintero. We have a motion and a second discussion. Having no discussion, we have a motion and a second to approve superintendent's personnel recommendation. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes 6-0. We are now going to go into closed session for number 2, pursuant to chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, to discuss superintendent's annual formative evaluation. It is we are now going into closed session. It's 6:36, we're back into open session. I guess we need a motion on the number 2, right? Sure. All right, at this time, I'm sorry. At this time, number 2, discuss and take action to approve the formative performance evaluation of the superintendent as discussed in executive session. Is there a motion? Mr. Amaya.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the formative performance evaluation of the superintendent as discussed in executive session.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Mr. Farias, second. Discussion. Having no discussion, all those in favor of the motion indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes 6-0. We are now at announcements.
Members of the board, this evening, we want to let you know about our first home volleyball game. Will be played at 10 a.m. Lady Falcons against Brownsville Porter. That's Saturday, October 17th. On Friday, October 23rd, we have our first home football game at 7 p.m. The Falcons welcome the Rivera Raiders. And on Saturday, October 31st at 6 p.m., from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. is the Los Fresnos Halloween Drive-Thru Festival at the Los Fresnos Memorial Park. It's a free event, a socially distant trick-or-treat alternative. And on Monday, November the 9th at 6 p.m., we have our regular school board meeting. Those are all the announcements we have. Monday, November 9th, 6 p.m.
Any other announcements? Okay, then, we are adjourned.